We are live and ready to go for the annual Riverdale Spring Football Scrimmage matchup between Team Garnet and Team Gold. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network for some high school spring football action. This is Nick Rush giving you the call of this evening's matchup as we are live from Karl Engel Field on the campus of Riverdale High School. The last time we had a football game here at RHS, it was the Battle of the Bell contest back in November of 2015, where Riverdale fell to the Lehigh Lightning by a 24-0 final score. On top of that, the Raiders dropped their win-loss record to 3 wins and 7 losses to close out the year. Looking at the stats from last season, it's obvious that the Raiders were victims to a very rough year. But the spring is a time to rebuild, and it is where RHS begins the road to the 2016 regular season, which will begin this coming August. We are just moments away from the start of this contest, but before we begin, let's discuss how the scrimmage matchup works. It's very simple. The Riverdale football squad is split into two, with one half representing Team Garnet and the other side belonging to Team Gold. This past Monday, the Riverdale coaches decided what teams that they will lead, and all 10 played a part of the Raider football draft. In this draft, the coaches chose what players that they wanted on their squad, and that is what decided which players go to what team. It is a great exercise for these players as it helps them prepare for their upcoming spring football game next Friday night at Mariner High School, and it's also a very effective way to warm these athletes up for summer workouts and then the full regular season right afterwards. So right now you have the players standing around. Looks like there's a little bit of a delay to the start of this game. Coaches are still out on the field. Players still doing some warm-ups right now. We already had the coin toss, and it has been decided that the gold team will be receiving. But we will use this brief stoppage of play to tell you a little bit more about these two teams. We'll start with the uniforms. For Team Garnet, they're wearing their Garnet red uniforms, of course. White numbers on the back, black pants, and to go along with that, you have white helmets with red script R on both sides for Riverdale. For Team Gold, they are wearing white uniforms, red numbers on the back, black pants, and white helmets with red script R on both sides for Riverdale. Both teams wearing the same helmet. And also, we are going to talk about these unique spring football rules. Here in this spring scrimmage game, it will consist of, rather than 4 quarters, we have 2 30-minute halves on a running clock. The clock will stop anyhow on turnovers and timeouts. Right now, all the players are still out on the field, plenty of them doing warm-ups, so we're going to take a quick break. In moments, we are going to have your opening kickoff, and we are going to get this spring football game underway live from Karl Engel Field on the campus of Riverdale High School. So we will step away really quick, and we will get back with the start of this ball game. It's the Riverdale Spring Scrimmage between Team Garnet and Team Gold. We are back at Riverdale High School as we are ready to go for your spring football contest, the scrimmage matchup between Team Garnet and Team Gold. Kickoff is coming in just moments. Team Gold is going to be receiving the ball first. So here's your opening kickoff, and we are underway. It is booted high up. And let's go to the ball game. It's fumbled. A little bit of a rough start there. It's going to be scooped up by Brown on the play. And we are ready to go once again. That's Quantavious Brown once again, who tried to catch it off the fly, but he fumbled it and just dove right on top of it at the 5-yard line. Team Gold is going to be taking the ball first in this ball game as they move from left to right across your computer screen. Team Garnet moving from right to left.
10 yards. No hash marks. Everything's 10 yards.
So after a little bit of a stoppage here, it's going to be a 10-yard gain on the play, which I believe there was a flag on the play, and there was, and that's going to be a 10-yard penalty. So ball is going to be spotted at the 12-yard line, and out comes Team Gold. Well, a little bit of a confusing start here to the spring football game, but things are settled out, and we are ready to go. Thank you for tuning in to the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. Nick Rush giving you the call of this ball game. Team Gold ready to go for their first play of the contest. Making this opening snap is going to be none other than number 4, Daniel Ulmer. He's going to give a handoff right up the gut to Zach Sanders on the play, and that's going to be a very short gain on the play for second down. Nice crowd on hand here at Karl Engel Field on the campus of Riverdale High School. Although this is a spring football scrimmage contest, although it's just Riverdale versus Riverdale, the two are just one team split up into halves. These fans have come out to support, and they are more than happy to get football action back here at RHS. So Ulmer is back. He's going to give a handoff up the middle, and there's a stoppage for another short run on the play.
Ball carrier. Gain of about 2.
Gain of about 2 there, and coming up with the rush is going to be Walker. So that is now third down here as Team Gold continues on their opening offensive drive of the contest. Nothing here at the beginning of your first half. I may have said quarter a few minutes ago accidentally. If I did, I apologize for that. But keep in mind, in the spring football scrimmage, it consists of 2 30-minute halves. Clock will keep on running with the exception of timeouts and turnovers. Ulmer with a play-action pass, rolls out at the 10, fires it up the gut, and that goes shy of the hands of Zach Sanders. It's now a 4th down and a nice 3-and-out there for the Team Garnet defense. 26:34 left here in your first half, just moments in. If you would like to come out to our spring football scrimmage contest, tickets are $3 a piece. So, nice family affordable fun out here at RHS at the moment. And although this is a exhibition contest, it really is exciting. It's a nice part of the year because you get that inside look at the team of 2016. It's a nice sneak peek at the upcoming season. And the best part is that these teams feature athletes from all the groups, whether it's varsity, junior varsity, or freshmen. Everyone's out here ready to play and ready to have a good time here for the exhibition contest. And it's really good for the younger players who may be on the freshman team or formerly on the junior varsity team, because this is a good chance for them to show that they still belong. So as a result, of that 3-and-out, they're going to bring the ball to the opposite end of the field, and that's where Team Garnet's going to take over. There is no punting in this spring football contest. So on the opposite end of the field, just over the 40-yard line, Team Garnet's going to take over. Once again, moving from right to left. Dylan Ulmer is going to be the quarterback, and he's just going to hand that ball over to a running back who is stopped with a gain of maybe about 1 on the play. On the carry there, it was Paul Johnson, who was just caught right in the eye of the storm, right in the middle of all those defenseman players, and it's down number 2. Still nothing here between Team Gold and Team Garnet. 25:40 left to go here in your first half. It's flung down the near side by Ulmer, and that's going to be caught up for the first down. And that time it's Alexander just reeling it in off of the right hand. And overall, that was a nice clutch play off a second down. Dylan Ulmer with a nice line drive pass down the near sideline. Alexander was there to get it in that right hand, transitions it over to his left hand and comes down with it. Full possession for the first down. Ball is now on the 45-yard line in enemy territory for Team Garnet. Hoping to draw first blood. Ulmer with a play action. He's going to take a run for it up against the far sidelines. Gets the first down, and he is going to collide with a defenseman at the 15 for another fresh new set of downs. So Team Garnet looking very productive out there.
Nice game down to the goal 21-yard line.
That's good, that's good.
Thank you all for tuning in once again to the Riverdale Raiders broadcast network for the course of tonight's ball game. Overall, it's been pretty fun out here. You hear the marching band in the background of the audio, which is something that we didn't have last year for the spring football scrimmage. It's very different from last year. We didn't have as large as a crowd. We didn't have the marching band. We didn't have a public address announcer. And the rules are very different this season as well. So here's another rush up the gut to the running back, and he's going to be stopped right on the line of scrimmage for a second down. Paul Johnson on the rush, and he is now going to head to the sidelines. Speaking of the sidelines, Team Garnet will be standing, cheering on their teams from the sidelines up against the near side of my broadcast position. Team Gold, they are positioned with their sidelines up against the far side. So here's the snap. Looks like a quarterback sneak here on the play, and another short gain on the play for Team Garnet. Third down. So Team Garnet, they're looking pretty sharp here right at the start of this ball game. Still nothing and nothing, but they are deep in Team Gold territory. Now third down and 6. Hoping to come up big here in just moments. Here's a handoff. Man running up the far sideline, and he is going to be tackled right on the spot after getting his hands on the ball.
Loss on the play. We're down.
That was Thompson on the carry, and that's actually going to be a bit of a loss on the play as he was brought down at the line of scrimmage. Looked like that was number 10 on the play. It's now fourth down for Team Garnet, and they're going to go for it. It is scoreless, still young here in your first half of play. 22 minutes left to go here on this running clock. Once again, Team Garnet holds it at the Gold 15. Ulmer takes a snap, rolls out to his left side. He's going to hurl it to the end zone. Will it be caught? No, it will not. It is going to be a big collision out there. Attending receiver was Alexander on the play, who was hoping to come up with the game-opening touchdown. Standing up against the near side, but he was in double coverage and brought down. Ball got in his hands, but he was roughed up. Brought down by those two defensemen. So it's a turnover on downs, and Team Gold will get their hands back out on the ball after suffering a 3-and-out on their opening offensive drive of the contest. So this game remains scoreless here at Riverdale High School, and it is action-packed. You have that regular season atmosphere out here at Riverdale High School, the marching band, the cheerleaders, and a packed crowd, which is really what you love to see, especially when you consider the fact that this is just, once again, a spring ball game. Something to exercise the players, get them back into shape, and here's another give and go up the middle. Brown is going to be the carrier on the play, and he will be stopped very quickly over the 20-yard line. Team Gold in their own zone. Makes it second down. There's been excitement about this game all week, and that is just absolutely huge, especially, once again, when you consider the fact that this is just a warm-up game. It's a practice game for the Riverdale squad, but these fans are very happy to get out, see some more Raider football, get that sneak peek of the upcoming season in 2016 for the Riverdale Raiders. It's now third down. Brown coming up with another carry, but he is shy of the first down marker. Ball hasn't traveled so far for Team Gold here on this second offensive drive of the ball game, still at around their 20-yard line. High formation here for Ulmer. Sanders to his back. Rough handle there for Ulmer as he flings it down the field, and that is tipped and deflected. And a nice show of blockage there by number 1, Jocks, on the play. Yeah, it was Williamson Jocks there just getting right up on that intended receiver, which I believe was Zach Sanders on the play, up against the near sideline, but it was tipped out of his hands. And we'll have a line change out there on the field, and that's going to be a punt, another 3 and out here for this Gold team, as they've had a little bit of difficulty on the offense, but neither team, once again, getting on the board. Lots of coaching to go in this ball game. A nice learning lesson for these players. It's time to talk about your coaches that are involved in this ball game. For Team Garnet, you have Coach Aleisure, Gunn, Bailey, Dawson, and Harris guarding the team. And the leaders of the Gold team are Coach Aids, Adams, Edwards, Romano, and Stutzman. So these Riverdale coaches closely inspecting the ball players, and so far looks like there's some good potential out there. Lots of speed, a lot of young players as well. So I'm very excited to see what the upcoming regular season holds for the RHS team. Or the program as a whole, rather. Whether it's freshman, JV, or varsity, here's a toss to the right side. And that's going to be another shortcoming on the play. That's now second down. Gain of about 3 on the play there.
Gain of about 3 on the play, second down and 7.
So it's second down and 7 there. Nice breeze rolling across the ball field. If there were any field goals in this ball game, well, that's a nice advantage for the kicker. Well, the win, for a matter of fact, could be your best friend or your worst enemy. It's Paul Johnson with another carry. That's his second consecutive rush. And they both have not been too damaging to the Gold offense. Now third down.
Defense concession there. That puts the scoreboard into the field. Yeah, get some snacks. And if you're wanting a little bit more, hamburgers, hot dogs,
lots of sights and sounds here at this ball game. Fans on their feet trying to cheer on this Team Garnet squad. And that's another interesting aspect of the ball game all season, or all week long, for a matter of fact. Paul Johnson is the ball carrier, and he picks up that fresh new set of downs for Team Garnet. Ball is around the midway marker of the field at the 50. Team Garnet barely on their own 49. Well, all week long, a lot of players and Riverdale fans, students, and staff alike, they've all been debating, who's going to be the better team, who do you think is going to win? Whose side do you have? Are you for Team Garnet? Are you for Team Gold? And that just shows you how much excitement has been generated for this game. The ball rusher this time around is going to be dragged back for a loss on the play. That time it's going to be Jocks. And that's a loss of 1 on the play. So Jocks that time, he was just running off to his right side as the quarterback, Ulmer, was under center. And Jocks was running it off to his right side, trying to sneak past the line of scrimmage where a lot of those defensemen were. But to no avail, didn't work out, and there was a loss of 1. And now there is a timeout on the field brought to you by Team Garnet. So we'll have a stoppage with 16:47 left to play here in your first half. Your score is 0-0 in this Riverdale Spring Football Contest between Team Garnet and Team Gold. We'll come back, bring you some more Riverdale Raiders football on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. We resume this Riverdale Spring Football game between Team Garnet and Team Gold, where your score is 0-0. 16:47 left to play here, and half number 1. Team Garnet has the ball at around midfield at their own 49-yard line. Ulmer takes the snap, gives the handoff to Jocks. He's running in the backfield. That's a little risky, and now he's caught. He is stopped immediately. That just wasn't a smart play at all, and that now makes it 3rd down for Team Garnet on their offense. Well, that wasn't a smart play at all. Looked like Jocks here just took the handoff, and he was just doing whatever he could to get away from those defensemen. Multiple men in white uniforms were chasing him down, and he was just desperate, running backwards, which really is never a smart decision. If you ever get the ball, the least you can do is just put your head down, run it out. Even if it's a small gainage, it's better than a loss. It's better than no gain, so just put your head down, run it forward. No harm in that. So it's now 3rd down. And long to go here for Team Garnet. Ulmer's back in the gun. Dylan Ulmer, that is. The brother of Daniel Ulmer. 2 quarterbacks here on this Riverdale team. Dylan representing Team Garnet. Daniel representing Team Gold. And this time Dylan Ulmer is able to come up with a nice carry, just running it right up the gut, finding a loose area, and brings it up to the Garnet own 45, but it will not be enough, so that makes it 4th down, and the ball will go down the opposite end of the field into the hands of Team Gold. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, there is no punting here in the spring football contest. It's a beautiful evening for Raider football, I will tell you that. It's now time to take a look at your weather. Live from Riverdale High School. Here in Southwest Florida at the beginning of this ball game, it is 87 degrees. Nice breeze rolling from right to left across the field at 15 miles per hour. Humidity is at 56% and there is no chance of precipitation. Your overall forecast is sunny and it is a great night for Raider football. That is exactly what we love to see. No clouds in the sky, sun is setting off to the right side of my broadcast position. So all is good. Fans are out having a great time here on a warm but sunny and beautiful Friday evening. We hope all is well with all of you listening. Thank you for tuning in to Raider football on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. Hope you all are enjoying this broadcast, having a nice way to start your weekend. Handoff up the gut to Zach Sanders will be enough for 1st down. And this is going to be at the Gold 43-yard line where the ball is laid down. Ulmer is back under center for this play as we are 0-0 on the scoreboard. 14:36 remaining here in your first half. Daniel Ulmer getting stuck. He fumbled the snap and he is brought right down on the play. And that's going to be a nice loss of approximately 3 yards. Second and long here for Team Gold.
Second down and 13.
Well, we've seen quite a bit of mistakes here throughout the course of this ball game. Nothing wrong with that anyhow. That's the reason for the spring football contest. Last time we've had a football game here at Riverdale High School, it was November. So that shows you that many of these players may be a little bit rusty here. But once they get through those spring and summer workouts and after these spring games, then I think they'll be ready to go. They'll be a little bit more experienced and ready to play the upcoming 2016 regular season. Sanders is up for another rush, running up the near side, gain of 6, but it's still not enough for a first down. That makes it third down for Team Gold.
Correction on that, that'll be fourth down.
Excuse me there. Ball at the 45 for Team Gold.
40-yard line.
They're about 4 yards away from a first down. This time you have Daniel Ulmer back under center, as he has been this entire game. Here's Zach Sanders putting a little bit of energy in that run up against the near side. He comes within inches to the first down marker, but there will be a flag. This flag is going to go against Team Gold with the offense.
I have a feeling it's holding.
And that's going to bring him back 10 yards. So a very dramatic loss there as a result of the flag. And that now brings Team Gold just shy of their own 15.
Ball resting at the Gold 27-yard line.
Fans trying to get these players into the game. Still no scoring just yet, but hopefully we'll see a change. Everyone's a little different when it comes to how they prefer a football game. Seems like some fans like a high-scoring one, back and forth offense. Nothing wrong with that in my opinion. Plenty of fans anyhow like a show of defensive dominance. Now I think that's what we've been seeing thus far. Daniel Ulmer is back rolling out to his left side, airing it out downfield. Is it caught? Teammates are saying it is. Let's wait for the official ruling here.
We have a catch and interception.
That's actually going to be an interception there, where you had two men up against each other that time around. And they were just right on each other. They collided once the ball got in their hands. And the ball is taken away, intercepted by Team Garnet. Looks like Al Field made that pickoff for Team Garnet. So, great show of defensive display there by Al Field. Just stripping the ball away out of the intended receiver's hands. So as a result of that interception, ball is going to be laid out at the 48-yard line. Team Garnet taking the ball on their own territory. 11:08 left to play here in your first. We are scoreless. Team Garnet and Team Gold going at it here in the spring football scrimmage action. Ulmer giving it up the middle. And that's a gain of about 3 on the play. Johnson was on the carry that time around.
Johnson, ball carrier, takes the ball up to the other side of the 50-yard line. Inside goal territory at the 39 will be second down and 6.
So that makes it second down and 6. Nice gain of 4 there. That's been a great thing about the running. So far we haven't seen anything too crazy from your running backs Lots of tight defense being played out there, which is a great sign for the Riverdale defense, of course, but a lot of power and energy has been brought into it by these running backs so far in the ball game, especially Zach Sanders. Even when he has defensemen on him, he doesn't back down. He tries to just ram right through them, and he keeps going until he loses his balance. And it appears that this is going to be a first down. Johnson coming up with just enough, and it's 1st and 10. As Team Garnet once again is going to take over the enemy territory. Ball is at the 47-yard line. So Dylan Ulmer is back, rushes it up ahead. Nice carry here by Johnson. And was it fumbled? It was. Big dog pile.
Recovered. Well, give up for a first down.
We're still waiting, and it is going to be ruled that Team Garnet has taken control of the ball. So, nice sigh of relief there. Paul Johnson coming up with a very impressive handoff. Nice run right up the middle, but as he was being dragged down onto the grass, he lost control of the ball. But the man from Team Garnet was able to hop on top to pick up a new first down and keep the offensive drive rolling here for Team Garnet. Dylan Ulmer with the give and go. Man rolling out to his left side, and he is going to be dropped up in front of the sidelines. Looks like McMillan was on the carry there. That was his first of the ball game. That's now going to make it 2nd down, stopped right on the line. And right now, Team Garnet, they're slowly making their way up the field. Lots of handoffs here in this ball game, a lot more handoffs than passing. And here's another one right up the gut. And that should get the amount they need for a first down. That was a 3rd down attempt here.
Gain of about 9 on the play. That'll bring them 3rd down and 1.
Or excuse me, this is now a 3rd down as a result of that previous play. 3rd and 1 as we get things cleared out here. So Dylan Ulmer is hoping to pick up the short gain. Don't be surprised to see another handoff here. And there it is, a handoff. This may not be enough.
Loss on the play, that'll bring it 4th down.
Your ball carrier was Locke. That was his first rush on the game. And he was just caught in a jam right off the draw. That's going to be 4th down. Great accuracy there by Team Gold defense. Not wasting any time pressuring the offensive line and getting to that running back Locke. Now you have 6 minutes and 30 seconds left here in your first half. 0-0 is the score. And it looks like a 4th down conversion is on the way here for Team Garnet. So they're going all or nothing here. Quarterback sneak on the way from Dylan Ulmer, and that's more than enough for a first down, I believe. Let's get the check.
First down.
It is a Garnet team first down. Took the officials an extra moment there. Just wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page. They were. And Dylan Ulmer comes up in a clutch situation there on 4th down. Keeps the offensive drive going. And now the ball is on the goal 10-yard line. Team Garnet hoping to hop on top. But it seems like so far in this ball game, it's been Team Garnet really pressuring on the offensive line. The good news is that both teams have been very accurate on offense and defense, but right now, Team Garnet, they may be up to something right now. Just yards away from the red zone. Oh, Dylan Ulmer nearly trips, fires to the end zone. It is out of play. Up against the near sideline, the intended receiver was Alexander. It went right into his hands and right back out as he was trying to do whatever he can to stay in bounds, but to no avail. Even if he made the catch, it would not have counted. He was way out of play, with multiple men diving out of the playing field to come up with that one. And now brings up second down for Team Garnet. We are now nearing halftime here. 4:30 left in your first. Team Garnet hoping to hop on top here and maybe keep that lead heading into halftime. And now a timeout is going to be called here by Team Garnet. That's their second of the half. So we are running down to your final moments of the first half. Garnet team invading enemy position, but it's still scoreless. More Raider football action coming up in your spring game right after this. We resume football action. 4:19 left to play here in your first half. 0-0 between Team Garnet and Team Gold. Team Garnet has the ball at the Gold 10-yard line, hoping to score before halftime. Here's a handoff, and not much is going to be achieved there on the play. Runner on the play was number 10, Tyrone Campbell, and that's going to be a loss on the play. Now marks up third down. As we head towards halftime, we appreciate all of you fans for tuning in to the Riverdale Raiders broadcast network for this spring football scrimmage game between Team Garnet and Team Gold. Nick Rush giving you the call here on the web. Now, what is looking to be a very beautiful Friday evening. This is a great thing about spring football as well. Around this time of year, we're getting into those summer months, but it's still not too warm, not too cool outside. The environment is just right. But it's third down. Let's see if Team Garnet can take advantage. Yanked up ahead. Is it caught? Yes, it is. That will not be enough for a first down anyhow, but still a nice one up against the far side there. Reeling it in there was number 2, Dante Quintella. Dante Quintella playing a wide receiver in this ball game, and we've seen him play the wide receiver position last year as well. What's interesting is, if I am correct, he also played as a kicker last season. So it sounds like he is a athlete of multiple positions, and that's a guy that you want to have on your team. Oh, the ball is stripped out of the hands of Dylan Ulmer, and Team Gold is going to take it away. Or excuse me, that's Team Gold coming up with it. It is. So that is a rough way to end this offensive drive. It was very lengthy, probably our lengthiest offensive drive of the ball game for Team Garnet. Brought it all the way to the enemy 10, only to have it stripped away. Dylan Ulmer, the quarterback, he was in a jam that time around. Had a defenseman at his ankles, another one coming at him from the line of scrimmage. And he just didn't have enough time to throw it away. One of the defensemen got a hand in on it, the ball, and spiked it loose of Dylan's hands. And it's going to be Team Gold taking advantage of it. They steal it with 2 minutes and 13 seconds left in the opening half. 0-0 is still your score. So Daniel Ulmer and the Team Gold offensive line hoping to drive it down the field in a very short amount of time. Right off the snap, you have a flag. Originally, it was a handoff to Zach Sanders, but he will not get too far. And this is a flag that Team Gold is going to have to suffer, as they are the guilty party on the play. That's going to be a false start call going against Daniel Ulmer. Ball is right on the 10-yard line for Team Gold on their own end of the field.
You understand, they're really nice, and they're going to go fast. Reserve yours today. Actually, that will be reserve yours on Monday.
So here's your snap. As usual in this ball game, Daniel Ulmer under center. Gives another one down the middle to Brown, and he is going to be stopped. There's going to be a timeout on the field, and as a result, we are going to have another media timeout. So 1:24 is left here in this opening half. 0-0 is your score between Team Garnet and Team Gold. Timeout called here by Team Garnet. They've used all three of their timeouts here in the half, so we'll take a break. More football coming after this on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Raider football on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. 1:24 left to play here in your opening half of this spring football ball game. Team Garnet tied up with Team Gold, 0-0. Team Gold has the ball at their own 10-yard line. Looks like Daniel Ulmer takes the snap, has a fumble on the play. And Team Garnet is going to scoop up the ball. I didn't see it due to the big dog pile. But the ball was taken away there by Daniel Ulmer. Well, he dropped the ball right off the snap. And Team Garnet stole it with 1:17 left in the first half. And just a few moments ago in this action, we've seen Team Garnet get the ball at the enemy 10, but it was given away due to a fumble. So now they get that second shot to open the scoring to this ball game and take the lead before halftime. So once again, Team Garnet has it at the goal 10. Dylan Ulmer's back out there on the field. High formation. And there's a handoff. Paul Johnson once again getting in on the action. And he picks up an impressive gain of about 6 for second down. Paul Johnson, he's been getting some action with that ball all night long so far. And he's been pretty impressive. Very tall guy out there. 6'2". He's going to be a senior in the upcoming regular season. He's currently a junior as we wrap up the 2015-2016 school year at Riverdale High School. Handoff up the middle to Johnson again. Will not be enough, and that's down number 3. Timeout's going to be called here by Team Gold, and they're going to bring up a little bit of a game plan here with 33.4 left here in your first half. Seems like their offense and defense, they've been falling apart a little bit here as we get into the conclusion of this opening half. Both teams have been playing great, don't get me wrong, but right now it seems like defense has been having some difficulty. And it looks like Paul Johnson is a little bit shaken up right now. He's currently on the benches getting evaluated. That's not a good sign because he's had some good carries in this ball game. And we may see him get some good carries in the upcoming regular season, but right now he's going to be carted off. It looks like his arm is affected. We are back in the game. Handoff right up the middle. Ball is fumbled. Did Gold get it again? They did. You have got to be kidding me. So Team Garnet, they get scoring opportunity after scoring opportunity, but they keep giving the ball away, and we still remain tied scoreless with 25 seconds left in the half. Well, it looks like Johnson's going to be carted off here. Once again, never a good sign. He's on his feet. able to move and everything, which is a good sign, but it seems like his upper arm and shoulder area is what's bothering him, and it's his left shoulder to be exact. So they're going to take a look at that. Correction, it's his right shoulder now that you have the doctors looking at it, but we'll see how that concludes as we get into the later stages of this ball game, whether he's going to keep on playing or not. He has his jersey off, has some doctors out there taking a look at him. Meanwhile, Daniel Ulmer and the Gold team fumble the ball. Is this another one going to Team Garnet? Gold team takes over, which is good for them because that ball was right on top of the 5-yard line. Ulmer was taking a rush up to the 5-yard line. Looked like a quarterback sneak, but that backfired and it went out of play. Team Gold tries to go for one last play before halftime, but to no avail. And as we head into halftime, your score is 0-0 between Team Garnet and Team Gold. Well, very interesting start to this ball game. Both teams getting some good opportunities to score. None of them have been successful anyhow. Seems like Team Garnet is the one that's really getting in enemy territory, getting in the red zone, pounding in those running backs. And they keep doing what they've been doing in this first half, and I'm sure that they will succeed. Anyhow, fumbles have really plagued both teams in this ball game. So we'll see if they can do anything about that as we get into half number 2. But for now, we have a 10-minute half time. So we're going to take a quick break here, and we will come back with your second half of play right after a word from our sponsors on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. Once again, your score is 0-0 between Team Garnet and Team Gold. We have returned and we are ready to go for your second half of play between Riverdale. Well, it's the Riverdale Spring Football game. It's Team Garnet versus Team Gold. Correction there. If you think about it, it's Riverdale versus Riverdale in this scrimmage contest. It's a great way for these young athletes to warm up and prepare for their upcoming spring football game, which will take place next Friday night at Mariner High School as they face off against the Mariner Tritons. As we get back to action, it's going to be Team Garnet getting their hands on the ball to begin the second half. Keep in mind, this ball game consists of 2 halves, both 30 minutes long, off of a running clock. It does not stop with the exception of turnovers and timeouts. Off that opening rush, it was Hansen coming up with the gain of about 5 on the play, makes it second down. Team Garnet starts to drive at their own 20-yard line. As a result of that carry, it brings them to the 25. No kickoff to begin the half. There was only one kickoff in this ball game, and that's to start it off. Here's Dylan Ulmer with a rush up the middle, and here's a stoppage. A gain of about 3 on the play. Looks like right now they actually have Connor Johnston in there as a quarterback. So Connor Johnston and Dylan Ulmer, those two are going to be trading positions as a quarterback on Team Garnet. And Connor Johnson giving the rush up there.
Ball beat Garnet, 36-yard line, first and 10.
And a first down is going to be given here with a run from number 44 once again. So another first down here for Team Garnet. They've had no problem making first downs here all throughout the course of this ball game. Here's another nice run up the middle. It's a nice pitch and catch there. Gain of about 2 yards on the play. And coming up with the catch was number 6, which is Spencer. Now second down for Team Garnet. Just about 2 minutes here into your second half of play between Team Garnet and Team Gold. Neither team is on the board. That's been the big theme of this ballgame, turnovers. Especially for Team Garnet, they always need to be careful, make sure they have firm possession of that ball. Especially towards the end of the first half, we saw 2 instances where they brought the ball into the red zone of Team Gold, but they couldn't convert. There were 2 turnovers. This time it's Connor Johnston with a quarterback keeper there, and he's going to get a gain of approximately 2. Ball now currently sitting at the 45-yard line for Team Garnet. They're stuck in their own zone off of this third down attempt. And it looks like this just may be successful. Another nice run up the middle coming from number 6, which is Spencer once again. His second run of the half, just zigging and zagging past defenseman. First down Garnet. Now at around midfield, and Spencer very quick on his feet, just twisting and turning in between Team Gold defensemen. And he's off to a very impressive start to the half for Team Garnet as they slowly but surely bring it downfield. At the start of this new half, you have Team Garnet moving from left to right across your computer screen. Team Gold will be running from right to left. Nick Rush giving you the call here on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. Thank you all for tuning in to the Spring Football Scrimmage Contest. Here's Johnson going for a pass here up against the near sideline, and coming up with a very nice slide is number 2, which is Dante Quintella. That's his second reception of the ball game, and interestingly enough, he's had a nice slide to both catches where he goes down on the ground. Seems as if he loses his balance when shifting, turning around. As he makes that catch, keeps good possession in his hands right in front of the Team Garnet benches off to the near side of my position. Here's a carry up the middle.
Lock the ball carrier.
Locke is going to be the ball carrier. Oh, and now there's going to be a fight on the play. Uh-oh. Flags are flying. And that's not something you see every day in a football game where it's Riverdale versus Riverdale. 2 men got tangled up there, slamming each other to the ground. Flags are everywhere right now. And you don't expect to see that at all. And really, I'm not too sure what it was. It was just a big scramble after the whistle. 2 men got into the heat of it, but I mean, we're talking about 2 teammates going at it. But I guess that's the game of football. I mean, these men line up, collide with each other, and then they do it all again. So in such a hard-hitting, fast-paced ball game, that's very common for someone have the anger get the best of them. But there are personal fouls on both teams. Those are going to offset as a result. Team Garnet currently has the ball just short of the Gold 45. Well, that was very interesting to see and not something you would expect. Oh, very impressive catch and touchdown, Team Garnet. Unbelievable catch and touchdown right there from Alexander to open the scoring in this ball game with 23 minutes and 15 seconds left here in your second half. It's now 6-0. Alexander with an amazing catch up against the near side. Not to mention he was in double coverage. Leaned over defenseman, brought it downfield for the opening 6 points. So finally, we have some scoring in this ball game, and it comes early here in the second half. From the looks of it, this is going to be a 2-point conversion. Or let's take a look. Maybe it won't be. A little bit of confusion there with the offenses. It took them a little bit of time to get those line changes out there, but finally they do it, and it turns out Team Garnet is going to make a kick for the extra point. It's going to be number 10 kicking this one up off of his right foot. There is not a 10 on my roster, interestingly enough, but he is set up, ready to go. Daniel Ulmer is going to hold down the kick. It's up, and it is right through. So it's good. 23-15 left here in your second half. 7-0. Team Garnet leads over Team Gold, and it's Alexander coming up with a nice catch off of the hands of the quarterback, Connor Johnston. We'll take a quick break and come back with more spring football from Riverdale High School right after this on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. As we get back to action at the spring football game in Riverdale High School, Team Garnet finally scores first and takes a 7-0 lead. 23 minutes and 15 seconds left here in your second half. Team Gold is going to take over. Well, for those just tuning in, we'll tell you what just happened moments ago before our commercial break. You had Alexander come up with a very impressive catch down the near side off the hands of Connor Johnston. Ran it in for the 6 points. Kicker number 10 was able to put it up and in for the extra point. Make the score 7-0. Team Garnet over Team Gold. And here's going to be a big hit up against the near sideline. Seeing who came up with that one, it was number 8, Walker, coming up with the gain, running it up the near side, and he is going to take a tumble up against the Team Garnet sidelines. Well, it's been a great defensive battle here in the spring football game. We thank you all for tuning in and supporting Raider football. Nice crowd on hand still. You have the band out, and overall, it's just a very nice night for some Raider football. Like I mentioned earlier, great weather as well. Zach Sanders, my goodness, coming up with an amazing rush right up the middle. He is laid out at the 50-yard line. Now, Zach Sanders, he is a guy that's very limber as a running back, and he's very great at maintaining balance. We've seen it all throughout the course of our previous regular season back in 2015. He knows how to stay on his feet even when he has defensemen on him, and it's a perfect example of it right there. And he's able to struggle past multiple defensemen, stopped at the 50-yard line, and that's a first down. Big gain from Zach Sanders, the running back for Team Gold. Daniel Ulmer back under center, ran into his own man there. Throw down the middle is incomplete. Ooh, that was a close one. Right in and out of the hands of Jocks.
I said, what you talking about? Who you talking to? Me too. I like that. Sound good, man.
At the 50-yard line, that makes it second down for Team Gold. 20:56 left here in your second quarter, or half, excuse me. Team Garnet taking the lead over Team Gold, 7-0 is your score. Here's a toss up the middle. Oh, big hit there on the play. Coming from number 1, Brown on the play. That makes it third down. So right now, Team Garnet, they're just taking advantage of Team Gold and their miscues. They've just had a hard time running it down the field. Both teams seem to favor the rushing game, and really that's not a surprise here in spring football. But so far, Zach Sanders, he's been a very impressive guy out there. But every once in a while, he gets his lucky break and he comes up with a nice game. Play action. Daniel Ulmer, and his pass is blocked off the hands of Cole Schneider on the Team Garnet defense. That now makes it 4th down for Team Gold. Most likely they're going to punt this one away. Well, once again, no punts. But I guess you can use an imaginary punt. What they do on 4th down, if a team does not want to risk going for it, what they do is the officials bring it to the opposite end of the field. And that's what they do. So once again, no punting here in the spring football scrimmage game. Timeout called here by Team Gold. 19:30 left here in half number 2. 7-0 is your score. Garnet leads over Gold. More football to come right after this on the Riverdale Raiders broadcast network. 19:30 remains here in your second half of play. Team Garnet leads over Team Gold by a 7-0 score. Team Gold resumes their offensive drive after spending their first time out of the half. Out comes Daniel Ulmer on a 4th down conversion. He is going to be sucked down on the ground, and there's a turnover on downs. Stellar defense by Team Garnet. And to make the deal even sweeter for Team Garnet, they have the ball in enemy territory at the Gold 45-yard line. So Team Garnet has that 7-point advantage, hoping to advance it on this upcoming drive. But Team Garnet, they've been struggling all throughout the course of regulation. They just can't seem to get anything going on the offense, but Team Garnet's going to try to do whatever they can to run down that clock and keep the lead out of the hands of Team Gold. Well, although this is a practice football game, a scrimmage between Riverdale, we will tell you that this is a very exciting game. Right now, public address announcer having some fun with the crowd here. Having a good time at the spring football game. And like we mentioned earlier, not only is it a sneak peek of the upcoming football season for Riverdale, but it's a great time to rebuild. After finishing the 2015 year with a 3-7 overall record, Riverdale hopes to rebound in the upcoming season under head coach Tom Rozelle, who is entering his first season coaching this Raider team since 2009. Technically, the upcoming year is his 4th season as the leader of the RHS varsity football program, as he was previously the head coach of the team from 2007 through 2009. We'll tell you more in just a moment. Out comes Team Garnet as they begin the upcoming drive with the offense. Under the gun, it's Dylan Ulmer back out on the field, switching places with Connor Johnston. Short handoff up the middle will make it 2nd down. Lock on the carry.
Nice run on the play.
Well, Rozelle has stepped back into action after the former head coach Damon Jones accepted a position as the head coach of the football and basketball squad at St. John Newman High School down in Naples. Additionally, he serves as the athletic director at Newman as well. So us here at Riverdale High School would like to congratulate Coach Jones on his promotion. We'd like to say thank you for all you have done to improve Raider athletics. 2nd down coming up here for Team Garnet. Once again, under center is Dylan Ulmer. Handoff coming up the middle. That's going to be a 1st down for Team Garnet. Nice one right up the middle there. That ball getting into the hands of Locke, who once again gets a nice carry. Well, Coach Jones was also the leader of the basketball team this past season for Riverdale, where the team created a memorable postseason by winning their first district championship since 1988 and made it all the way to the regional semifinals, where they fell to the Bradenton Lakewood Ranch Mustangs by a 57-44 result back on February 16th this year. Remember, that's basketball, and he resigned from RHS after coaching football and basketball for 2 seasons. So let's see how the Raider football team adjusts to a brand new coach. But let's remember, this is a coach with experience. Once again, Coach Tom Roselle. Pass off to the right side to the intended receiver is going to be incomplete. Johnston was the intended receiver on the play. So Connor Johnston, who was a quarterback just moments ago in this ball game, is transitioning over as a wide receiver, and that ball goes right into his hands and right back out. Clock currently reads 16:56 left here in your second half. 7-0. Garnet leads over Gold. It's third down for Team Garnet. And enemy territory at the 40. Dylan Ulmer with the I formation with the offense. Runs into his own man, rolling out to the left side. It looks like he's going to keep it into his own hands. Ulmer goes crashing into the Team Gold sidelines off to the far side. And correction, that play was second down, and it's now third down, excuse me there. So right now, Team Garnet trying to extend their 7-0 lead right now. It's about 3rd and 5 to go for a first down. So far, we have seen no shotgun formations in this ball game, not a single one between any of your quarterbacks, whether it's Team Garnet or Team Gold. Handoff up the middle, and there is going to be a flag drawn on the play. That's going to be a false start going against Team Garnet offense, which will drag them back 5 yards.
Still should be third down.
So it's now third down here.
Penalty is declined. That will bring up fourth down.
So penalty is going to be declined by Team Gold, and that's going to bring up fourth down here for Team Garnet.
Bring up the kicking unit.
So let's see what Team Garnet is going to do here. They're in enemy territory, so they believe that the wise move is going to be go for it. They are going to go for it here at the Gold 40. Once again, about 5 yards away from a first down. Let's see if they can make it. Dylan Ulmer takes the snap, rolls out to the right side. Is he going to throw it? Flag is down. He's going down the remainder of the field, and that's incomplete. Well, another flag here. And this will be huge if it goes for Team Garnet, or in the favor of Team Garnet, rather. Johnson was the intended receiver on the play. There's going to be a holding here. So that was a flag going against the offense. Once again, a holding call against Team Garnet. So Team Gold is going to decline the penalty once again. That makes it a turnover on downs. And with 14 minutes and 5 seconds left to play here in the second half, Garnet leads 7-0, but Team Gold is hoping to get back out there and get on the board for the first time of the matchup. Well, that's been a very interesting aspect of this ball game all throughout the contest. Just the fact that two brothers are battling against each other in the contest. Once again, Team Garnet's quarterback Danny Ulmer is squaring off against his brother Dylan Ulmer, who is the leader of the Team Gold offensive line. Danny is just now wrapping up his junior year at Riverdale, as well as his debut season as a first-string quarterback for the Raider football team. Here's the opening play of the current drive for Team Gold. Thrown over to number 15, who's cruising downfield up against the near sidelines. 50, 45, 40. He slowly paces past the defenseman and down to the 10. Give me a break. What an impressive run there by number 15. And there's not a number 15 on that roster either. But number 15 coming up with a very impressive play there, running it down the field, and it seems like the Garnet defensemen were just sweeping on him, having a hard time catching up. So it's first down, ball at the 10-yard line, and here's Team Gold hoping to come up with a nice play to score. This may be the best opportunity that Team Gold has to score, so let's see if they can get things going here. Number 28, my goodness, with a massive hit, and he's dragged down onto the ground. That was Williams with the carry, running out to his right side as he got the ball in his hands. And then Thompson was the defenseman on the play. He made connection with him, kept dragging him back to around the 45-yard line, where he just laid him out. The whistle was blown, and it's going to be ruled that the ball is at the 40. Team Gold now has second down. So here's your snap. Ball is fumbled. Team Garnet takes control. Handoff up the middle went horribly wrong. Team Garnet defenseman there was able to get right on it. No playing around there. So another drive, another turnover, and Team Garnet has another chance to score and keep their lead going. Now up 7-0, 12:06 left to go here in regulation. Well, that's been another big part of tonight's game. It seems like whenever a team gets into the red zone, they're just feet away from the end zone, or inches, from the end zone, for a matter of fact. They just can't find a way to seal the deal. A fumble comes in, something to break up the offensive drive and turn the ball over. It's been a big struggle for both teams putting points on the board. So right now, here's the quarterback getting sacked. And let's see here. Getting a little confused. Team Garnet quarterback was thrown down, which was Dylan Ulmer. That now brings up second down. Well, what they've been doing recently in this game is they've been switching around some of the players. For instance, some players in Garnet jerseys going over to the Gold team, and some Gold players going over to the Garnet teams. This is in certain plays, but that can lead to a little bit of confusion. But spring football, it certainly is unique. It has its own rules, and it could throw off quite a few fans if you are not truly familiar with the rules there. But it looks like they were trying to get a few players off the bench and now on the field by doing that. So excuse me for that confusion there. Here's a handoff right up the gut. Gain of about 3 on the play. And running there with an impressive carry was number 19. That was Thompson with another nice gain. Makes it third down for the Raiders. The Raiders Garnet team, that is. So as it's now third down, Team Garnet hoping to keep things going.
Third down, about 8.
Dylan Ulmer with the rush up the middle. Nice carry here, but it's just not enough. Coming up with that ball was number 18, Terabiniak. Runs it right up the gut. Gets past one defenseman, but can't beat out the other one in front of him. And there's a timeout being called here by Team Gold. 9:43 left here in regulation. 7-0 is your score. Team Garnet leads over Team Gold. More Riverdale Spring football to come after this break on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. More Raiders Spring football action is on the way. 9:43 left to go in your second half of play. 7-0 is your score and advantage of Team Garnet. Team Gold currently on the offense after spending a timeout. And they're ready to go here from their own 15. It's I formation here. Rush up the middle, lots of confusion on the field, and that's going to be a first down. A ball carry of 10 coming up there. Zach Sanders was on the rush.
First and 10 at the roll, 37-yard line.
Lots of agility and speed with Sanders. I remember back in the Battle of the Bell game last November, running back Zach Sanders, he was voted as the player of the game on the Riverdale team. Yeah. Riverdale did lose that game 24-0, and it took place right here at Karl Engel Field. Here's a loss on the carry, but there is a flag after the whistle.
Oh, it's a personal foul. Let me guess, left in the pack. Let me guess, rough.
We have a flag on the play. It's going to be
A little bit of a conversation going here, but it's going to be ruled a holding going against the Garnet team. Ball is now on the Gold 49. Clock rolling. 8:30 left to play here in this ball game. Right now we have a beautiful sky here at Karl Engel Field. The lights are on, and it is an absolutely beautiful view here from the broadcast booth. Sky is orange and blue. And once again, very crisp, cool night here for May. Here's a handoff. There's going to be little to no gain on the play as Zach Sanders was on the run. So it's now second down and 10. 8 minutes left in the ball game. And if Team Gold wants to tie up this game, maybe even take the lead, then now is the time to do it. All night long, their offensive drives have been very slow. Same for Team Garnet as well. They've mainly been living off of those very short handoffs. Here's a pass coming on the way. It's almost intercepted there. So that now makes it third down and 10. Serena is now going to be the quarterback here for Team Gold, as he is switching the position of Daniel Ulmer. And that's an instance of what I was talking about a little bit earlier during the broadcast. Serena is dressed in a Garnet red uniform, the only player dressed in red on the Team Gold offensive line right now, which is what tripped me up just a little while ago. Here's a handoff on the play, and there's a fumble right on the line of scrimmage off of the third down attempt. It's covered up by the Gold team, and it's now fourth down as they tried to go for it in midfield. So Serena is out on the field. hoping to make something big here at Team Garnet. Play action, rolling out to the right side, finds a man open, number 15, but that will not come up big at all. Number 15 was able to come up with the play, and that's a turnover on downs. So Team Garnet looks like they're going to take over once again here. Great combination of defense and offense. And really that's what you want in a football game, whether it be scrimmage or regular season. Team Garnet has had just about everything. And Team Garnet now rolls back out onto the field. Let's Go Garnet chant has made its way around Riverdale High School. But no matter if you're going for Team Garnet or Team Gold, we're all going for Riverdale in this contest, and it's looking like a very successful night of a spring football scrimmage. Well, Team Garnet was about to get into the snap, but a timeout's going to be called here.
Switch from players. They didn't get it in time.
Many players are standing around right now. Many confused as there is a stoppage.
Too many players on the field, which would have been like a 10-yard penalty.
So we wait for the call here. 5:31 frozen on the clock, and we are back and ready to go. So it was not a timeout. It was just a little bit of confusion there on the offensive line. So once again, no timeout. Just a little bit of confusion on the placement of the ball there by the officials. Locke is on the rush there, and he picks up a gain of 7 up against the far sidelines. He is pushed out, second down. The Rock is spotted at the 48. It is located in the gold zone here. Clock now underneath 5 minutes, so we are getting down to your final moments of the ball game. Team Garnet, they just need to focus on keeping the offensive drive alive. That way the clock will keep on rolling and end it off. At this point, they really don't need to be too concerned about calling a timeout as long as they keep the offensive drive alive. Here is a fumble from John Locke. It will be scooped up quickly there by Team Garnet anyhow, and it's now third down. Well, it's been a low-scoring game to watch all throughout the course of this ball game, but it has been fun to get back up here in the press box and call some more Raider football. It's our first game at Karl Engel Field since last November with our Battle of the Bell matchup against Lehigh. So it's fun to get back up here, call a game in front of a very nice, enthusiastic crowd cheering on and supporting the Riverdale Raiders. Here's an incomplete pass off to the right side of the quarterback, Dylan Ulmer.
What down is it?
Number 24 was the intended receiver, and it's now going to be fourth down. So clock now rolling down to 3 minutes left here in this contest. What a game it's been. And the great thing about spring football contests as well is that everyone gets out there, everyone gets a little bit of the action out on the field. It doesn't matter if you're from the freshman team this previous season, the JV team, or the varsity team. Everyone gets a shot to play out there in this spring scrimmage game. So fourth down conversion coming up. It does not end up so well. Number 15 was on the carry that time, but rolled out to his right side up against the near sideline, but picked up a loss. And now out comes Team Gold, hoping to come up with some late game heroics. Clock frozen, 2:32 left to play here in the ball game. No matter where you are listening from, as we roll down towards the end of this game and the broadcast as well, we would like to thank all of you for tuning in. We hope all is well, wherever you may be listening. It's been a very enjoyable night of spring football. And keep in mind that you can catch your Riverdale Raiders in action next week as well. Riverdale will play their spring football game, and they will wrap up the spring football schedule next week when they travel up to Cape Coral to take on the Mariner Tritons. The contest will take place on Friday, May 19th, with kickoff taking place at 7 p.m. More information in just a moment. Ball at the 50. Serenas with the ball for Team Gold, rolling it down the near side. It's too forced upon, and it's incomplete. Attendant receiver was Williams on the play, hustling his way down the near sideline for Gold. Beautiful pass from Serenas. It was just a beautiful spiral, but he just put a little bit too much mustard on it. And that really could have been huge if Williams could have stretched out his arms, made the catch. That could have been a run to the end zone for a touchdown to maybe tie up the game. But that will bring it the second down. Ball back at the 50 for Team Gold. So Serenas with the toss up to number 28. Jukes his way past one defenseman, but he won't get too far from there. That was Williams once again on the carry. Now third down for Team Gold. Well, Riverdale and Mariner played each other in the annual spring football game last season here at Karl Engel Field on the campus of Riverdale High School. Raiders were able to stretch out 3 touchdowns across the board to shut out the Tritons by a 21-0 final score. The two schools will face each other in a rematch next Friday night, but it will be Mariner hosting the event this year. Once again, that game begins at 7 p.m. So Serenas sets up and fires a bullet down the middle of the field, and that's too forced again. Incomplete pass. That time around, it was intended to Payne. He had some nice speed, but once again, it was just too much of a pass, and it didn't work out. Fourth down now for Team Gold. Clock now frozen at 28.7. Timeout on the field. So as we get a stop, 28.7 is left, and looks like there's a timeout here going for Team Gold. And of course that was predicted with them. I mean, clock rolling down to less than a minute. They've been getting some good opportunities with the passing. Just now starting to get some great opportunities downfield, but to no avail. So it's now fourth down for Team Gold. This decides your ball game, most likely. Fourth down for Team Gold. Fourth down and about 1. Serenas with the quarterback keeper, and that's enough for the first down. Clock now running down to 20 seconds. No huddle coming up here across the 40, or the 45, excuse me. Team Gold trying to run as fast as they can. Flag on the play. Serenas is sacked, and there's your flag. Clock rolling down to 3 seconds. This may be the end of the ball game. No, it's frozen at 1.2, and there's a last-second timeout there for Team Gold. We still have yet to determine what this flag is going to be. Right now, all the officials are huddled up. Let's see what it is.
Hey, if they score this, do we go to overtime?
So it looks like that flag is going to be waved off here, and now Team Gold has one last shot. Although I highly doubt that this game will go to overtime, but if it will not go to overtime, even if they do tie it up. Nope. Yep, regulation is the game, so no overtime whether Team Gold ties it up or not. So this is it. This determines if Team Gold wins or ties it right here. Fans on their feet. Serenas under center. 1.2 left on the clock. There's your snap. Serenas at the 50. Rolling down the middle of the field. It's intercepted. And Team Garnet is going to win this football game. Still cruising down the middle of the field is number 31. He is brought down. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of your football game. Team Garnet defeats Team Gold by a 7-0 final score. Ladies and gentlemen, what a game this has been. We appreciate you all for tuning in throughout the course of the ball game. Overall, great game. Defenses have ruled all throughout regulation, but Team Garnet is able to pick up that game-winning touchdown right at the beginning of the second half. And overall, what a successful spring game it's been. Riverdale versus Riverdale, it's been successful. Great warm-up for these guys, and I can bet after tonight they are ready to go. They are hyped for spring football, ready to play their spring game next Friday night at Mariner High School as Riverdale takes on the Mariner Tritons. Kickoff at 7 p.m. So thank you all for tuning in. That's just about going to do it for this broadcast. Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play action on the Riverdale Raiders Broadcast Network. Once again, we appreciate you all for tuning in throughout this contest. One more time, Team Garnet defeats Team Gold. 7-0 is your final score. So that's going to do it. Live from Karl Engel Field on the campus of Riverdale High School, Nick Rush is signing off. Have a good night and a safe start to your weekend.